The bikers for Mandela Brigade are preparing once again to set off across the country to do their humanitarian duty and honour the legacy left by the late former President Nelson Mandela. This time, radio and television personality DJ Fresh, Mandela's former private secretary Zelda Lagrange, and Metro FM newsreader Angie Kumalo and other celebrities will for the first time take the campaign to Mozambique. And joining me live in studio is the convener for the Bikers for Mandela initiative, or many better know her as Nelson Mandela's former PA, Zelda Lagrange. Thank you so much for joining us here on ANN7.
Thanks, Lauren.
Firstly, what is the overall theme of this year's ride?
Well, I've been serving as the patron of the First for Women Trust since 2010. So overall, the theme is again the fight against gender-based violence. But we're also moving away from that a little bit and also combining the fight against malaria this year. Overall, with the two initiatives combined, we hope to inspire confidence wherever we travel in the fight against gender-based violence and then the fight against malaria.
Now, last year we understand that you teamed up with the Blow the Whistle campaign, where bikers handed out whistles to provide women and children a platform necessary to feel safe in terms of rape, domestic violence and such things. Tell us a little bit more about how that campaign went last year and whether you'll be teaming up with this campaign again this year.
It went very well, a bit chaotic, because when you hand out 200 whistles and they all start blowing, you can't really get your message across. Wonderful campaign, and it worked well. We're doing something different this year. For instance, we are hosting 2 free movie screenings at M20, at the movies at M20 on the 14th of July at 2 o'clock and 5 o'clock in the afternoon at the cinemas. Free screenings of the award-winning movie Dis Ek Anna. It's an Afrikaans movie but with English subtitles. Now, as you know, the movie is all about abuse and a woman taking revenge, and we'll be there in between the screenings, the biker team, but then also with the lead actress of the movie, Charlene Brouwer, and she'll be there to talk about abuse, and we'll have our celebrities to talk to the community about abuse, and that way, you reach out to people, you influence them, and hopefully we'll get the cinemas full of people to come and listen to the stories, but also to see in the movie that this is not the way it has to go. There's alternatives. We are here to support you.
And how far do these celebrities and the Bikers for Mandela Brigade travel, and where specifically will they be traveling to?
Well, in the past, since 2010, this is the 7th year that we're doing it. I've done about 12, because I've been on every ride, I've done about 12,000 kilometers on the actual ride. That's in addition to the recce's that we do. So this is what the initiative have done, but we're going to Mozambique. We're going through Swaziland and Mozambique then for the malaria project specifically, and opening a malaria center there, and also getting awareness about this malaria center in Mozambique. So it's a bit of a detour. So to Mozambique and back is probably about 600 kilometers, so it would probably be about 1,500 in total that we'll do.
Wow. And tell us a little bit more about the celebrities who will be joining you. We mentioned a few. How does this work? Do they want to come and join, or do you turn to specific celebrities that you feel would be perfect on this kind of ride, or how does it work?
Not really. They approach me, but you know how things are and how people's schedules are. It's a lot to ask of people to give up their incomes. Most celebrities make money over weekends. That's what they do. Concerts, musicians, artists, and so on. So it's a lot to ask, and then when it gets closer to the date, a lot of them cancel. But people like DJ Fresh has been committed to this initiative. I think it's the 5th year he goes on the trip. He's a bike rider, so he also enjoys the opportunity. He takes his family with him. He actually teaches his children from an early age, to get involved. So when we do a vegetable garden, the children actually work with us. That's beautiful to see. And then we also have Afrikaans singer Karleen van Jaarsveld joining us for the first time this year. She got onto the trip because of Karen Zoid. It's Karen Zoid's 2nd year. Karen then entertains people. Karen brings her own market with her, people they listen to her. She can influence them. It's important that we reach out to as many and a broader community as possible. So that's why we choose different celebrities, to make sure that we are also representative and trying to reach out to the biggest possible crowd.
Definitely. And tell us a little bit more about the history of this initiative. You know, what inspired it?
It was in 2010, for the first year, the now CEO of the Nelson Mandela Foundation, Salo Hatting, we sat in my office and said, so now, you know, we've created Mandela Day, now what now? What do we do now? And I went home, and the next day I said to him, Salo, I've got an idea. Let's go. Let's take bikes across the country and go to Cape Town and then stop in rural communities, because we also take the Mandela Day message then to a place like Barberton. There's never been anything done in Barberton for Mandela Day, so we make sure that people feel, you know, Barberton is part of South Africa, it's part of Mandela Day, so take this forward and do your own Mandela Day initiative the following year. And we've seen throughout the years that that's exactly what communities now do. That's how it started, and I hope to continue it, and I hope that other people will also follow this example. There shouldn't only be one Bikers for Mandela Day trip. There should be all over the country initiatives, you know, using this name then, Bikers for Mandela Day, and do their own thing.
As this forms a part of the Mandela Day, what can ordinary people do to help in Mandela Day, and, you know, not necessarily going on this biking trip, but what other initiatives can they?
Well, as I mentioned, they can attend the movies in specifically Mbombela at the cinema at M20, 2 o'clock and 5 o'clock on the 14th of July, and then also you know, follow our example. We are, for instance, working at Barberton Police Station. We are working at the Rob Ferreira Hospital. Those are state institutions, but we're going to refurbish centres used for victim empowerment when women arrive at these state institutions. We shouldn't leave everything to government to fix. You know, we should do our part and do something. Madiba believed that active citizenry is the only way forward, and he believed that if he did something every single day to improve the world, he could change the world, and he did. So that's our overall message for Mandela Day, is get involved in your own community, even if it's at the police station or at an old age home, a private institution, but just do something.
And what has the response been from residents in these rural communities? You know, when a bunch of bikers come in, and for example, last year you were explaining to us about giving the whistles. You know, what has the response been over the years?
You know, people feel acknowledged, they feel respected, and I think that was very much part of Madiba's character, to make ordinary people feel that they are part of a movement like this. It is not only a celebrity trip, it is about the ordinary people whose lives we touched and changed. So it's overwhelming. When we drive into a town, people are not sure how to deal with it. We usually need the police's help, because once they then realize that, you know, these 20 plus motorbikes are actually here to work, it's not just to have lunch or something, you know, people are very interested. So it is, I think, to see also how you change someone's life by giving someone support, a woman that's been in a situation of rape and abuse, or the malaria awareness, you know, to educate someone and to tell them that we can prevent this, to see, you know, the happiness on an ordinary person's face is just unbelievable. That is so self-fulfilling. So it's much bigger than just commemorating Madiba's legacy. It's also about that self-fulfillment.
And now we obviously see the self-fulfillment and as well as the acknowledgement that these residents feel. But what happens when you leave? You know, what happens then?
Our biggest message also is to people that, you know, these institutions are in your community, look after them. It's your responsibility, as well as the government. We know government is struggling, but do your part. And don't ask what someone else can do for you. You know, contribute to society and the success of society. We're also encouraging people, we're inspiring confidence throughout the journey, hopefully to get people to come out with these stories of rape and abuse, and to go to these centers and to walk out of the abusive relationship and to talk to people about malaria and, you know, all the things that the overall themes of our journey. So hopefully people will listen to us, first of all with our messaging, and secondly they'll follow our example and make sure that we make every day a Mandela Day, and it's not only the 18th of July.
Now, before we let you go, where can people follow you on social media?
Our hashtag is Bikers for Mandela D so it's Bikers for Mandela D on Twitter, and then that's our, what do you call it,
the Twitter
tag.
Hashtag, yes,
our tag,
hashtag,
and then
yeah.
the hashtag is B4MD2016.
Oh, okay.
Also on the official Mandela Day website, www.mandeladay.com.
Okay, perfect. Well, thank you so much. It's been truly inspiring. Good
Thanks,
luck for
Lauren.
the ride.
Thank
Thank you
you
so much for your time.
Thanks so much.